People clearly just want the money from the rental income from a tenant.
I remember specifically him being mad one day and him showing me a picture of his bathtub. Somebody left a hairball in it.
She was like, oh, what's that? And she was looking in the box. And I'm like, oh, nothing, just shoes. She physically rips, like,
opens the box. No way.
Then...
So people are trying all kinds of creative ways to save money. We even see now that people are renting a room in other people's houses. Not, for example, just, you know, renting a studio apartment or getting an apartment themselves and then getting an apartment with roommates. No, they're actually renting a room in someone else's house, using that so that they could save money that way, or that way they don't have to spend so much on rent, because we know the rent prices are through the roof and extremely expensive now compared to how they used to be in the past. A lot of people have tried it and decided, hey, this was not the best decision I could make, but people are just trying to get by to survive in the economy that we're in, because clearly the economy is in shambles. Just know that you're not alone in this, because a lot of people are also feel that way as well. You see that across the nation, you see that worldwide. People are sharing their experiences and their story, renting a room in someone else's house. It's very interesting, and I definitely recommend you watch this video until the end to see these clips. Also, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel out. You're watching with Joven here. I'm not an economist, but I'm doing my best to educate myself. And without any further ado, let's dive in.
You know what's so annoying about trying to find a room to rent in a shared home on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever? Is the fact that people clearly just want the money from the rental income from a tenant, but don't actually want to accept that somebody else lives in the house with them. Like allowing no kitchen access, no visitors, just unnecessary rules. That's
interesting. So they have a lot of rules applied for, you know, this setup here.
Don't make sense when someone is paying to live there. Like, I rented this room, toured it, asked all the questions. She said I could use the kitchen, which on her previous listings, when I looked at her profile, she had no access to kitchen because she's rented out the room a few times. But for me, I was allowed access, and that says something. But I asked her if she had a laundromat, and she was like, yeah, you could use the laundromat. And then I texted her about it later. She was like, oh, I spoke to my husband, and we don't want to share the laundry.
so why? Man.
And after I moved in there, she put 2 new cameras into the living room, and it literally has a motion sensor. You can hear anytime I walk down the stairs or walk out. Like, what the fuck?
So how do we feel about renting a room in somebody else's house? Because I knew this was a thing, but I didn't know this was a big thing in my city. I'm talking big thing. You can literally go pay $700, $800 a month to go live in a room in somebody else's house. And I know sometimes it's out of necessity, but I just couldn't do it.
People are doing everything they can to get by, man. So people are coming up with all kinds of different ways. And if they could save that way, they could afford, you know, to save and still have a roof over their head. You know, you can't judge people for some of the things that they do, right?
I'd rather go live in the hood somewhere in a studio apartment for like $500 a month. I first found this out by one of my homeboys a few years ago when he told me he was living in a shared space. And he's paying about $750 a month. I was like, okay, that don't sound super bad. It's like a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. He's sharing a bathroom with 2 other guys, and it's like, I don't know about sharing a bathroom with somebody I don't know. I remember specifically him being mad one day and him showing me a picture of his bathtub. Somebody left a hairball in it.
What? Hairball? Oh my goodness. But this is the state of the economy, right? You can't blame people for doing things like this at all, man. You really can't. If the economy was better, everyone would have a great apartment. That everyone would be buying a house, starting families, having kids. But it's not.
I couldn't deal with somebody else's hairball, dog. I don't know. And there's some other factors, like on a lot of these shared spaces, you can't bring anybody else over. You got to share the living space with everybody else. And you got to share the kitchen with everybody else. I remember my homeboy was telling me everybody was eating out every day. That is not healthy. Nobody would take out the trash. Nobody cleaning up anything. I just couldn't deal with it. I'd rather just live in a little rinky-dink little studio by myself. But I
could see his point. Might as well just get a studio apartment instead.
Are saving money most of the time. And sometimes it can only be temporary. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Because
people are, you know, people want to save money. They're coming up with ways to save money. And like I said, can't blame people, right? This is the state that the economy is in.
Realistically, rent is so high these days that some
Right.
people don't have another option.
No other option, right?
Okay, so I'm apartment hunting. I find this listing, okay, pretty cheap, like for a room, whatever, Toronto, like nice kitchen. Let me scroll. Okay, it looks nice. Is that a mattress though? Like, what is that? Oh, is that a wall? What is that? Oh, that's my room.
That's your room. It is funny, I get it. With what's happening, inflation, rent prices, rent is so expensive. People are doing what they can to get by.
That's what you're paying for. $750 to be in the middle of the like room. Like, what? This is what it looks like when you close your door. Like when you want to be by yourself, this is what it looks like. And they even say, where is it? Like fully furnished, very bright and sunny, and
Imagine you're dating and you bring a girl to your room.
comfortable. Yeah, it's really bright and sunny, bro. It's because you're taking up half of the, like, what?
Kitchen access is not included. Laundry facilities and common areas like the living room are not included.
Why the fuck would you rent a bedroom in your home? Why would you do that? For $1,200, you can stay in an 8x10 shoebox of a bedroom that doesn't come with Wi-Fi. Utilities not fucking included. But you're not allowed to wash your clothes or use the kitchen.
Now, you see, that setup doesn't make sense to me. If you're not allowed to use the laundry, the kitchen, etc., that doesn't make sense to me to have the room there, but you still can't access the things in the house, right? That makes no sense to me personally.
Or sit in the living room. Why would anyone pay $1,200 for an 8x10 bedroom?
And they're paying $1,200 for that? Nah, that is not the way to go. You know, for example, the person that spoke earlier saying someone paying $750, less than $700 to do that. Okay, that makes sense, right? Not, you know, for whoever's financial situation, I should say, that would make sense. But this setup here, no.
But it's not furnished, no utilities included, and then they also have to find somewhere else to do their laundry and cook their food and hang out. Like, I'm only allowed to be in the room. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't.
If you need an extra $1,200 a month, get a fucking job, because this listing is completely ridiculous and unrealistic.
When I tell you, do not rent a room from a boomer. I moved out of my own apartment 2 weeks ago. I've been living on my own for the past 5 years. I decided to save money to live with someone. And this is my mom's friend's friend, family friend. I knew
Red flag number 1.
her relatively, she knew me, but she's insanely nosy. When I was shipping out an eBay package, she was like, oh, what's that? And she was looking in the box, and I'm like, oh, nothing, just shoes. She physically opens
the box. No
and
way.
then opens the lid on the shoes to see what it is. I'm like, when I signed up to rent this room, I didn't sign up for
you to
going
invade my privacy.
through my shit. Anytime that I'm making food or I'm in the kitchen in a common shared areas, she waltzes in and asks me all these personal questions. Initially, I was answering her for fear that she would kick me out since I'm renting a room.
Renting a room there. You don't want to get kicked out.
We're not technically roommates. It's her house. I would give her these answers, but then I was like, I don't owe her personal details. Right. So I started being very vague, and I started not going into the common areas whenever she's in there. Or whenever she would walk in there, I'd just go back to my room. I don't think any cheap rent is worth it, in my opinion, worth the invasion of privacy, because I'm someone who's neurodivergent and I value my privacy, I value my own time, I have a social battery. It also makes slight jabs at me. When I was eating yogurt yesterday, she was like, don't let me catch you eating ice cream. What is that? And I was like, it's yogurt. And then a few days ago
you know, there's always something that comes with it, right? You know, you always have to weigh your pros and cons, right? The pros, okay, cheaper rent. I could afford to have a place, a roof over my head, place to sleep, a bed, etc. Don't have to be out on the street. I'm saving money now. So there's always pros and cons with everything that you do, man. We just need to see a change, man. We need to see something happen. We need something to take place. You know, even if there people come together, people keep spreading the message out here, spreading you know, information about what is happening here, or educate, you know, more content about educating. How do you budget? How do you save?
These are the pros and cons of me renting out a room for $750 a month at 19 years old. So the first thing I would say is having complete freedom, but on a budget. As a hyper-independent person, I always wanted to know what it would feel like to live without an authority in the household. Right. I say on a budget because I do live with other people in the household, so I can't scream at the top of my lungs or, you know, beat on the walls if I wanted to, but I do have the privilege to come and go as I please. I can take a vacation for weeks on end.
Don't really have anyone in your ear. 19 years old, very young. Something to do as just starting out. I would understand a young person doing something like this as if they're just starting out.
I have to let nobody know, hey, I'm going here, I'm going there. I can do what I want and live my life. In the state of California, a one-bedroom apartment can cost you $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So my $750 a month for a room, maybe I'm saving a lot of money.
Saving money, and that's one of the reasons why people would do this, so they could save money.
I can put that extra $1,000 to $2,000 into investments and grow my money, or put that into a high yield savings account. So when I am ready to move into an affordable apartment, I can use that money to do so. I also don't have to worry about paying extra fees for utilities like water.
Okay, because all of that is included in what the person pays for the month.
Electricity, Wi-Fi, or anything like that. For my situation, I was very blessed to be able to move in with a very loving and caring family. They cook dinner literally every single night, and they literally force me to eat. So their food is amazing. I love
one of the good positive stories here from this, right? From people doing this move here.
And they're a really nice family. For the cons, I would definitely have to say not being able to be completely alone.
So, just like the person earlier, issue with privacy as well.
There are times where the house can get loud because of course there are other people there, and I'm the type of person, I love to be isolated, I love to be alone at times, so that is kind of a real big thing for me. Sharing living spaces is another thing. I do have to share a bathroom with like 3 other people, which honestly I'm okay with, because every time that somebody leaves the bathroom, they make sure that it's good for the next person to use it. So hey, that's good for
hygiene.
Me. The kitchen being a shared,
I guess you just have to, you know, be with a good people that you move into if you do make this decision here, right?
Space shies me away from actually utilizing it, just because, you know, other people are using the kitchen, other people are cooking day in and day out, so it's like I don't really buy groceries, and that kind of leads me to spending a little bit more money on eating out. Other than that, man, renting a room is really not that bad. If you truly want to try that, hey, listen, to each his own. A lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people would want to do that to save the money, you know, but hey, it worked for me, and I hope it works for you. If you do, you know, try it out.
Hello. And action. We rented a room in this woman's house for a couple nights.
Okay, so you see, that's another reason, that's another thing where I would see it makes sense. You just, maybe you're in a different area, you rent a room in the area for a temporary short span of time, real quick, so you could get your bearings together, right? And then, you know, eventually you step up and get a studio apartment, get an apartment, try your best to get an apartment, etc.
We've been in the desert for days, and we wanted to shower and do laundry.
Yeah.
So she still lives in the house.
Yeah.
And we're just basically Airbnb-ing one room.
Yeah, but she's having like friends over right now.
You can hear them in the background.
She invited 2 people over, and they're having a very intense discussion about relationships and talking shit about people that they know.
And we're just like in the room. And I'm really hungry.
We're pretty sure that she didn't tell her friends that we're here.
Definitely.
So in a couple minutes, we're gonna barge out there and go.
That's not gonna end well.
How's it going?
That's not gonna end well.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. I just want to eat food. Darren's gonna go do it.
You know me, I'm always happy to meet people.
We'll see how this goes. We'll keep you posted.
Definitely.
Bye.
So this is my space. This is the room that I've been living in since November 15th of 2020. This is the room that I got content in. I got content meaning I was supposed to move into this room and then save and then get an apartment, but I got too content. I wasn't managing my money. I was eating.
Got content. So you just, again, something temporary. You move in a room in someone's house, get yourself sorted out, situated, so that you could then save your money, step up to an apartment, right, for yourself, or, you know, even with roommates, right?
Now every day, but I've been moving smarter with my money, and I've been cooking. See, I got a griddle here. Got a griddle.
That way you're not eating out. A lot of people spend so much money eating out and DoorDash and, you know, Uber Eats, etc. They spend a lot of money doing that. And a lot of people have started to, you know, implement cutting off all those extra expenses just so they could budget better.
Pot. Pan.
Man, okay.
This the box you'll be seeing me cook on in my videos, so that's been helping me save money. And yeah, man, I plan on getting out of here very soon.
As you can see, man, it's very interesting. Never renting a room from Craigslist again. There you have it. People renting rooms in other people's houses just to save, just to budget, just to try to save their money, just so that they don't have to spend an extra large amount on rent. I could understand in certain situations how this would make sense, like if, you know, someone is very young, they just want to have, you know, they can't afford an apartment as yet, or, you know, they just wanted to try something out because they see something very cheap. They're like, oh, a room to rent, you know, less than $700 or around $700 or less. Hey, let me try it out. Let's see what happens. I could also see it making sense if, you know, it's something temporary, right? Where people are, you know, because a lot of people are struggling and they're doing everything to get by. See how the economy has gotten so bleak for a lot of people. And again, this is not the state that you want to have kids in. This is not the state that you want to have a family in and start a family in, guys. So, you know, I understand from the different perspectives here why people would make a decision like this. You could see it's a lot more people saying, oh, I'll never do something like that again. A lot of people having issues with their privacy. But can you blame some people for making a decision like this because how high rent prices are, how high groceries are, gas prices, etc. You know, put myself in someone else's shoes. If I'm going to a rough patch and I see a cheaper place and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rent this room, man, because it's much cheaper. Let me try it out. Let's see what happens. But for the people that are renting out these rooms, still, you know, trying to be in their privacy, not give them access to the things of the house as well, you know, that just doesn't make any sense to me at all. What's the point of that then if, you know, you can't have your privacy, you can't use like the kitchen, bathroom, etc. Very interesting subject that we just covered here. And these are the type of videos I love to make on the channel, where I could have an open discussion with all of you that are tuning in. Really appreciate the support on all the videos, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more content like this. There's going to be a playlist of all these types of videos on the end card here. Thank you guys so much once again for watching. God bless, and I'll catch you in the next one.